5 is Barrel of Last for Alex Edwards, 6 Black Thunder, Sam Whaley-Cohen, 7 Bucker's Bridge in those sizing gold colours, sizing John colours, Bucker's Bridge for Roger Quinlan. 8 is Cottage Oak Henry Crow, 9 Current Event Lisa O'Neill, 10 Dollar Tullo for Douglas Gittins, 11 Grand Gesture, can give trouble at the start, Richard Harding, 12 Grand Vision Mikey Legg, 13 Let's Get Serious Callum Miller, 14 Mendiv Express David Maxwell, 15 Manila for Value Declan Quealy. Number 16 is On the Fringe for Jamie Codd, 17 Pacha Polder for Bryony Frost, 18 Paint the Clouds Barry O'Neill, 19 Pentific Lucy Turner, 20 Premier Portrait Gus Levinson, 21 Salsify for Stephen Clements, 22 Sweet as a Nut for John Barry, 23 Warden Hill for Tom Chatfield Roberts, and 24 Wonderful Charm for Katie Walsh. So this could well go to Ireland again. It is the Gold Cup course, 3 miles 2.5 furlongs, so exactly the same as for the Gold Cup. It's been a record-breaking week for the Irish. St Patrick's Day has gone pretty well so far. Can On the Fringe put the icing on the cake, Matt?
Really good, Richard. History possibly in the
Fringe. I don't think that'll have done him now.
Sweet as a Nut, giving the bump. Not what you want.
Yeah, he looks
the tape, don't rush the tape. They do not want a full start here, but it looks like we are just seconds away, so let's go up and join Richard.
Thank you, Luke. Yes, keep an eye on Grand Gesture, who didn't want to go down to the start, and he has in the past given trouble. Sweet as a Nut, who's been on toe throughout. You can hear the starter trying to steady them down here, and he sent them on their way, so they're off and racing for this James's Place Foxhunters. Boundless Slow is one of the first to show, with also Current Event front rank. Ask the Weatherman as well, poking his nose between the principals. Paint the Clouds comes next from Barrel of Last, Pacha Polder, and Bucker's Bridge towards the outside. They rise at the first. Ask the Weatherman took a chance at the first. They're all over safely. Pentific On the Fringe is well back at the moment, along with Wonderful Charm, as Boundless Slow leads Ask the Weatherman towards the second. Boundless Slow over from Ask the Weatherman, who was better there. The whole field are over, with dual winner Salsify bringing up the rear. So turning away, it's Boundless Slow who leads early on. From racing in second place, Ask the Weatherman. Current Event is in third. Grand Vision racing on the outside of Pacha Polder with Mendiv Express, and also just behind the leaders we have Paint the Clouds, who's racing in about 7th or 8th place as they make the turn. Having jumped off perfectly okay, Grand Gesture is keeping out of harm's way at the moment, wide on the course ahead of Manila for Value in company with Premier Portrait as they prepare to reach fence number 3. Boundless Slow it is who leads the field over it. They are all over. Towards the rear of the field, Dollar Tullo is just a little bit slow as they head on towards the water jump. Boundless Slow leading Ask the Weatherman, Current Event, and towards the outside Grand Gesture. Grand Vision the Grey rises next with Pacha Polder and Paint the Clouds. They're the first 7, just ahead of Barrel of Laughs, who shows in 8th, ahead of Mendiv Express, and also just behind those we have on the inside running rail, Warden Hill. He takes it about 8th or 9th. On the Fringe and Salsify, the dual winners of this race, are well back early on, and also Wonderful Charm is towards the rear of the field. So in between the two ditches, they take a plain one. Grand Gesture made a mistake and Asked the Weatherman for the second time wasn't exactly fluent as they turn and begin to climb steadily uphill. Out in front, it is Boundless Slow, who leads by a couple of lengths from Current Event. Ask the Weatherman in disputing second place as they all step over it. Slightly alarming leap by A Up Charlie as they continue their progress, climbing uphill towards the next obstacle. Boundless Slow leading Current Event, Paint the Clouds, and Ask the Weatherman. Grand Vision and Grand Gesture the next 2. Pacha Polder took it in 7th place. There was a mistake by Cottage Oak back in the field, and Let's Get Serious is beginning to struggle right at the rear and has dropped to B back marker. So Boundless Slow it is who leads by a couple of lengths from Current Event as they continue to run downhill. Boundless Slow is over. Ask the Weatherman hasn't jumped too well to this point. At the back of the field, A Up Charlie, I should say Bucker's Bridge has been pulled up. It's Bucker's Bridge who's been pulled up right at the rear of the field. A Up Charlie is well back in the field, Only has Salsify behind, and actually Let's Get Serious, who's even further behind as they make their progress down towards the next. So out in front, it is Boundless Slow, who leads them from Current Event, Ask the Weatherman and Paint the Clouds. They're being tracked by Grand Vision. Salsify's a long way back. He's only just jumped that with Let's Get Serious. Just to stress, Ayap Charlie continuing, and he's about 6 or 7 from the back at the moment as they make their way down towards 12 from the finish. And out in front, it's Boundless Slow, who leads from Current Event in second. Ask the Weatherman just ahead of Grand Vision, who's on the inside of the crossbelt colours that paint the clouds. On the Fringe is getting a little bit closer, improving with Wonderful Charm. They've covered each other every step of the way. Midfield, green and yellow hoops with the white cap as they step over that. Alongside Wonderful Charm, then Ayap Charlie trying to work back into it, and then behind these Cottage Oak, Let's Get Serious is tailed off. Salsify right towards the rear as well. A Barrel of Laughs just being track leaders as the Boundless Slow took a real chance there. Boundless Slow right in front of the stands, and he's got to the other side safely. Dollar Tullo made a bad mistake towards the rear of the field. Let's Get Serious is right at the back, so they're beginning to get strung out here now. Boundless Slow it is who leads from in second place. Paint the Clouds. Grand Gestures up on the outside. Ask the Weatherman towards the inner with Current Event. Pacha Polder is racing on the inside of Grand Vision and Mendip Express. Barrel of Laughs comes next from Black Thunder, Manila for Value. Then behind these, On the Fringe, who's racing on the inside of Sweet as a Nut as they rise at the first, moving away from the stands. Wonderful Charms a couple of further lengths back. Ayap Charlie's purple cap. Then Salsify, who's picking off a couple of the slow ones. Warden Hills drop towards the rear. So's Cottage Oak. A reminder for Premier Portrait, but they're now about 100 yards behind the leaders, Boundless Slow, as they take the water jump. So over in front, Boundless Slow from Paint the Clouds. A Grand Gesture, having jumped off okay, has travelled kindly on the wide outside. Ask the Weatherman and Current Event are the next two from Grand Vision and Pacha Polder. Black Thunder comes next. On the Fringe is creeping closer. From a mile back, Salsify, who's been given this very patient ride, is also moving through the field as Boundless Slow leads them over the next. Another mistake by Ask the Weatherman. Out in front, Boundless Slow, leading towards the final open ditch, which is 6 from the finish in the Foxhunters. Paint the Clouds is poised in second place. Ask the Weatherman in third. Grand Vision, Pacha Polder and Current Event. Then Grand Gesture ahead of Barrel of Laughs. Black Thunder was a little bit slow there. On the Fringe has moved through into about 8th or 9th place at the moment. Still just within hailing distance to the leaders. Salsify continues to creep closer all the way through the field as Boundless Slow leads them over 5 from the finish. There's Salsify jumping there. Ayap Charlie makes another mistake, not his first of the race, as they prepare now to run down to the 4th last. And out in front, it's Boundless Slow, who's given his rider Derek O'Connor a really bold run here for the Northern Irish. In second place, Paint the Clouds, then Grand Vision. On the outside, Barrel of Laughs. Ask the Weatherman in 5th. Pacha Polder comes next. Current Event is pushed along. On the Fringe in about 8th or 9th place, being asked to improve. Grand Gesture has lost ground. Wonderful Charms improving towards the outside for Katie Walsh in the purple colours, but with 3 to take, it is Boundless Slow and Paint the Clouds who step over that ahead of Pacha Polder, who's moved through into 3rd place. Then in 4th, Barrel of Laughs. Ask the Weatherman comes next. Behind these, On the Fringe trying to work into it in the hoops with a white cap. Wonderful Charm, Mendip Express, and then Salsify heading towards the 2nd last. And Boundless Slow in the green and red colours leads by a length or so. Paint the Clouds in 2nd. Then Pacha Polder on the Fringe with work to do in 6th place. Manila for Value is running on. Boundless Slow, Derek O'Connor leads at the 2nd last. Pacha Polder in pursuit in 2nd place. Then behind these comes Paint the Clouds in 4th place. A Barrel of Laughs. Then On the Fringe and Manila for Value. Pacha Polder coming to throw down a challenge. The Boundless Slow. Wonderful Charm is coming strongly on the outside for Katie Walsh. Pacha Polder sets up the run in front. Barrel of Laughs over on the far side. Wonderful Charm up towards the line. Pacha Polder from Wonderful Charm and Barrel of Laughs. Pacha Polder all out, being pressed close home by Wonderful Charm. Pacha Polder won the Foxhunters. Pacha Polder won it from Wonderful Charm. Barrel of Laughs on the Fringe in 5th. Manila for Value. Then behind these in 6th, Ask the Weatherman. Boundless Slow couldn't quite see it out. And then Paint the Clouds, the horse that Victoria Pendleton rode 12 months ago. Pacha Polder for Bryony Frost. And Paul Nicholls is on the mark for the week in the Foxhunters. It got desperate late on. They were coming from everywhere. Bryony Frost has ridden a winner at the Cheltenham Festival. The Foxhunters to Pacha Polder.